Hey guys, it's Self-Dev, and today I wanted to do a video on stop having favorite outcomes or preferences. And this is more for people who have trouble with emotions. So if you have no problem with your emotional reactions for specific outcomes in the future, then you probably won't really need this video. But for everyone else who struggles emotionally with how things turn out, this will hopefully help you. Although it's a lot easier to say than to actually put into practice. But if you practice on the smaller scale and work your way up to the more emotionally challenging, then that hopefully it will help you in that respect. So basically, let's think of an example. Let's say, I don't know, you've entered the lottery, and let's also say you have a good chance of winning, because a lot of people might enter it and just expect to lose and just try and see it as something fun, like a game where you aren't expecting to win millions. So let's just say it's a lottery and you're hoping to win. Now, because you're hoping to win, you are favoring the outcome of winning and relying on that outcome coming true as opposed to it not coming true. And because you're relying on that, you are also emotionally dependent on that happening in the future. And that is really dangerous because you are letting external circumstances dictate whether or not you will be happy in the future. So what I want you to do in the present, in this example and in similar examples, is to imagine just as vividly winning the lottery and losing the lottery, and to prepare right now in the present with either outcome turning true, and also to change your mindset in such a way to not prefer either outcome and making it seem to you in your worldview that you would be just as happy with either outcome coming true. So while you have a preference initially, so you'd prefer to win $1 million as opposed to not winning, you could, I mean, it depends which example it is, but for this lottery example, I guess for me, I would see it as the process is exciting. So some lotteries you might turn the TV on and look at the numbers on the balls come out of the machine, and you can you can imagine that process as exciting, especially if you don't watch the lottery very often. Or you could, like, if it's a scratch card, you could enjoy the process of scratching the card, which sounds a bit childish, but we all have our weird preferences, and and excitements. Yeah, it's not the strongest example, but yeah. Um, if I think of other examples, I'll probably write them down in the comments. Yeah, so just try as hard as you can to not favor either outcome and to make sure you see the pros and cons of each of them and to try and make them just as strong as the other outcome. And this will mean you will be happy either way. So you will turn either a win versus lose outcome versus into a win-win. So you can say, well, on this side I'll win, but I will have all these struggles of, I don't know, certain complexes of winning the lottery, like you might need extra security if you're like super rich now, or you might end up being famous when you have all these privacy issues, or I don't know, taxes, issues on taxes, and all sorts of things like that. So yeah, I forgot to say that you could also think of the cons of what you initially chose as your favorite outcome. So if you struggle to, I guess, lift up the pros of the initially less favorable outcome, then you could try and lift up the cons of the initially favored outcome. So that's what I just did. I just tried to list some of the cons of what winning the lottery might be. So yeah, in this example, you say you end up not winning the lottery, you can say like, oh, phew, I don't have to deal with all these taxes. I don't have to deal with all these security and privacy issues anymore. Like, yeah, I don't have to sort all these out. I don't have to declare all this money to the bank account. I don't have to, I don't know, share it all with my family if I'm selfish or whatever. Like, so yeah, there can be reliefs to not having your favorite outcome take place. So yeah, try and equalize the pros and cons of each of the outcomes. So as I said, it isn't just lotteries and winning material things, it's also emotional outcomes. So you can propose to someone and usually you'd have the preferred outcome of wanting them to say yes, but you need to prepare for them to say no and not emotionally rely on them saying yes. So you can say, well, I've saved a lot of money and time and hassle with arranging a wedding, and I could also think that I have more time to make sure this relationship will work rather than rushing into it. Yeah. So that's two examples now. And I'm glad I've thought of an emotional one because we're talking about emotions here. Yeah, I think that's about everything I wanted to cover on this topic, which is a little unusual. Anyway, yeah, I hope you have an awesome day and amazing life.